Yo!
Yo!
Hold on. Hello. Testing.
If anyone's there, I'm just testing out a new setup here, like with my phone as my camera for the live stream. So hopefully the mic's working and everything. Is the music too loud? Hello. I think I'm gonna turn this down a bit. Hello. I think that's good, maybe. There's a mic echo. Oh, shoot. Hold on.
Hello. Is the echo still? Is it the music or my microphone? Bartleby. Thanks for joining, by the way. Oh, sweet. Yes! Okay. I think I fixed it. Okay. Looks like everything's good to go now. So, hello everyone. Today we're doing a full 103 unique card showcase for Ignaris TCG. I'm showcasing every single card in the first set, Fierce Mutations, that I'm going to be launching a Kickstarter soon. So, I think it'll be fun to showcase them like by drawing from the top of the huge stack. So, oh, hold on. Can I miss your last stream? So I had to be on time for this. Oh, no worries, Bartleby. It's all good. I think I may have started a bit too early, but it's okay. Still experimenting and all. But there's 103 cards, so let's get started. Okay, so first card is gonna be Ogrim. He is a beast entity. Spar level cost is 2, so you'd need 2 spar charged to be able to summon him, and he has a 1 warrior seal weakness, 2 spar death cost, and he's a common. This is the first ever artwork I ever drew for Ignaris TCG. So there he is. He kind of set the standard for the style, the rest of the style I was gonna go for. He's a no effect, just like a strong common vanilla card. For set 1, I went for more, like for easier learning of the game, I added a lot of vanilla cards, so there are a lot of cards with no effects in set 1, just so it is my first set. Starting out, it's going to be a lot easier for people to get into the game, I think. Yeah, HP 300. His weakened HP would be 270, attack 170. So since he's a beast, he would excel in like endurance. He has high HP, a bit lower attack. And yeah, he is card number 1, Ignaris TCG 2025. So there he is, Ogrim. Okay. Do you have a favorite, or do you like all of them equally? I do like every single one of them equally, I think. I do have a few favorite artworks. But I can't decide. I love all my artworks. But I think once we go further into, I'll show you my favorites in the set. But anyway, number 2, Arichi, the spider, kind of one-eyed, weird giant creature. He is a 1 spar cost, so you'd need 1 spar charge to be able to summon him. Again, 1 warrior weakness seal to weaken him. Again, another vanilla card, another common, Arichi. Oh yeah, I forgot to read Ogrim's flavor text. Hold on. Ogrim has immense strength, being able to hurl boulders at ease. So for each of the vanilla cards, I added a little bit of flavor text just to fill in like the gaps kind of thing, for a bit of lore, a bit of fun. And then Arichi's reads, Arichi pokes holes in his victims until paralysis. And we have a card called Paralysis. So, fun fact. Another beast. So HP is going to be high, 290. And yeah, 260 for his weakened HP there. And then attack is 150. Number 2. Alright, third one. Grok. So here we're gonna get into a bit more powerful commons. He's a 4 spar cost, 2 warrior weakness seals, and 2 spar death cost. And then here Grok is actually the first card who has an ability. And he had an ability before, but I changed it for set 1. I think this works a lot better, and he works in multiple decks with this ability. So sacrifice Grok to slay an opponent's entity, you must still pay Grok's death cost. So, I mean, if you really need that, like, slay, if your opponent's, like, has the pesty entity that you want to just get rid of, you can use Grok, and if you have enough, he's not too expensive with his death cost. That would be like you drain spar, which you can't use next turn, but you reflip it at the end of your turn. Yeah, and he has a little bit of flavor text. Grok has a wild temperament when captive, and as you can see, he has chains that he's like breaking free. 4th artwork I ever drew. Yeah, common, HP 300, weakness 270, attack 200. We're getting a bit stronger now with the attack. Number 3, there's Grok. This might be a bit of a shorter stream, but that's okay. Now we have Cog, another common. He's a 1 spar cost, 1 warrior seal, just another nice vanilla card for some variety. And then he's a 1 death cost entity. Yes, and yeah, no effect. So his flavor text, Cog bathes in its own filth and smells putrid. So I envision this as like the most vile creature ever. he has no eyes, just a disgusting mouth, and he's like roams dark forests, just gross overall. And yeah, he's like a nice weak common card that you can pull in lots of packs to have a variety of. HP 250, weakness is 230, and attack is 120. For the weakness for commons, they're actually going to be in percentages. So weak creatures like commons, they're only going to be weakened 10%. And then when you go to like further rarities, like the blue rarity primes, there's going to be a blue symbol here. That's going to be 30%, and then you go to golden, which is like reduced to 50%, and like, you know, helps balance the game a lot. Yeah, number 4. Next entity, Bizak. Bizak here is another beast. 3 spar cost, 1 warrior seal, 1 spar death cost, and just another vanilla card there, no effect. Bizak is extremely quick and very hard to avoid despite its massive size. So, fun fact, all beasts in Ignaris are giants. They're like, you know, rideable creatures that like warriors and lords can ride, and, you know, cool stuff like that. But yeah, HP 270, weakness is going to be 140, attack 150. Number 5 in the Ignaris Fierce Mutations set. There he is, Bizak. I love Cog. Yeah, Cog is pretty. He was actually really fun to draw. I love drawing the huge tongue, especially like plopped on the floor and disgusting with saliva and all. He was cool. And next one. So Screw. So here we're getting into the blue rare. So blue is going to be prime rarity. It's called prime. It was before it was going to be rare, but since it functioned essentially as an uncommon, I wanted to rename it to avoid, you know, confusion. So rarities go common, or common, white. Blue is prime rarity, or prime rare. And then yellow is going to be golden, which we'll see later. And green is ancient rare, one of the rarest in Ignaris. So Screw. 7. You need 7 charge spars to summon him. And he's a lot stronger. He has 3 warrior seals. 4 spar death cost. So if you want to revive him, or if he gets slain, you'd need to drain 4 spar, or pay 4 spar to revive him. And his ability is for each beast you have in play that is slayed, Screw gains 20 attack. So if you're running a beast deck, he's extremely useful. It goes a bit with his lore. Screw can become dangerously vengeful, so like each beast dies and, you know, Screw's like, no! He gets angry. And then, yeah, so his HP is going to be 600, a bit higher. And then his weakness is going to be a bit more weakened because more beast seals, stronger. Going to be reduced to 420. Yeah, 420. Attack is going to be 400. Not bad. And he's number 6. There's Screw, the tree entity, obviously inspired by Ents, the Lord of the Ring Ents creatures. Next one, Prondolion. So, don't ask me how I came up with his name. I just thought it would be a cool alien name, all these. But Prondolion is how I pronounced it. Another beast, 5 spar cost, and 2 weakness warrior seals. So to weaken him, my opponent would need 2 warriors, 2 Spar Death Cost, another Prime Rare, and he's a Prime Rare, but also a vanilla card. Prondolion swallows its prey whole with its weird, flowery mouth, Stranger Things monster mouth that I got inspired by. He's a cool ice kind of creature in the glaciers of Ignaris, the planet. HP 560, weakness is 390, attack 320. And then that's going to be number 7 of the Ignaris Fierce Mutations set. Okay, next one. Timigar. So Timigar, just big meat stick. I like the forearms. You know, he's really fun to draw. Another beast, 8 spar cost, 3 weakness seals, and 3 spar death cost. And just another vanilla card there. Timigar's arms can dislocate to extend further. Nice bit of lore. HP is going to be 580, weakness 410, and then attack is 350, and he's number 8. So there's Timigar. Next one, we got Watunga. He's a bit of a fan favorite. Now we're moving into the golden rarity. He's a golden rare, yellow symbol, and golden rares weakness. Yeah, weakness gets reduced a bit more. I think it's around. Hold on, I can check. Golden rare is going to be reduced 50%. So 50% of HP 890 is 450, but he is pretty strong. He can endure a lot. He has 4 warrior seals, so my opponent would need 4 to weaken him. 4 warriors to weaken him. He's a 5 spar death cost, so if he dies, that's pretty expensive. Or if you want to revive him, but by this point you'd already have 10, so he'd be or 10 charge spar, so you'd be nice and wealthy in the spar department. And he has an ability, when slayed, if you have a beast in play, summon Watunga on your next turn for free. So I envision him as, if he's slayed, he's kind of like a plant mushroom kind of weird creature, so I kind of envision him as he takes the life essence of another beast you have in play, and then he like regrows out of the ground, kind of like summoning it again, you know, reviving. And yeah, he has a bit of lore, I forgot. Watunga slowly crawls along the forest floor. Yeah, and yeah, I think I went over this. So attack 640, pretty strong. Yeah, number 9. There's Watunga. Alright, and next one is Erathia, or Erathia. I have not decided how to pronounce it. I don't know, but Erathia, that's how I pronounce it. But he is pretty strong. He's a 12 spar cost. 12 spar is the max cost of an entity, but you can have more than 12 spar in your deck. But 12 is just a max for a cost. So 4 warrior seals. So my opponent would need 4, like Watunga, to weaken. He's a 6 spar death cost, and his ability reads, if you have 3 other beasts in play, Erathia can shatter a life card, even if there are opponent entities in play. So basically I envision him as like, you know, he's a flying kind of creature. If I have the power of 3 other beasts, he can fly over enemy entities and like shatter a life card. Pretty good ability. He's a golden rare, so pretty rare. HP is going to be 900. 900 is the max stat for an entity. And then, yeah, reduced weakness 50% is going to be 450. And his attack is going to be 700. That is number 10. Arathia. I love drawing Arathia and Watanga. Next one, Toroth. So we're gonna, these are half of the beasts in set 1, and we're gonna move on to warriors now. So the warrior type, these are all the warrior commons. So Toroth is a common, 1 spar cost, and he has a lowered weakness seal. So Toroth would need, or my opponent would need a warrior on their side to weaken Toroth. So he's a nice little vanilla card for the warrior type. Toroth specializes in fighting on steep lanes, so he's good at like steep areas, you know, jumping around, fighting, 2 swords. HP is gonna be 120. 110 is weakness, and attack is 300. So warriors specialize in attack, combat, you know, slashing, slaying. So their attack is going to be a bit higher than their HP. Yeah, number 11, if my camera would focus. Number 11 in Fierce Mutations Set 1. Alright. Zealot. Another warrior type. Spar cost is 2 spar. 1 warrior seal. And a 2 death cost. So 2 spar death cost, another common. I actually really like drawing him. He is a redesign because I drew him first, but I was like, I can make it better. And then I kind of drew a generic background in the first one, but I like this cave more because it lets his energy blade kind of shine. Another nice vanilla card. Zealot's blade weighs 2 tons and contains enormous amounts of energy within. So obviously a bit inspired by the lightsaber, but I like the idea. You know, his design is pretty cool. HP 140, weakened is going to be 130, and attack is 280. That's number 12, Zealot. Barbomb. Alright, Barbomb, getting a bit more powerful. He's a 3 spar cost. Again, another Lord weakness seal. And he's a 2 spar death cost. And Barbomb has an ability. Barbomb may slay 2 beasts with 1 attack. So, the beast entity, is weak to warriors. So, I kind of like the idea of him as like a beast killer, and he can slay 2 beasts with 1 attack. Yeah, and his attack is going to be 300, HP 160, weakness 140. And then it reads, Barbomb can crunch his body into a ball and knock out anything that stands in its way. So I like the idea of him like rolling around, especially underground and stuff, and then like popping up, knocking out the entities or beasts, all that good stuff. So HP is going to be 160, weakness 140, attack, yeah, 300. I think I already went through this. But then, yeah, so number 13 is Barbomb in Set 1. Next card, Domgu. So Domgu is the little rascal troublemaker warrior. I like to imagine that he stole these like expensive armor and weapons and stuff. So 1 spar cost, 1 Lord Seal, and he's gonna be a 1 death cost, so pretty cheap, but like lots of him are gonna be pretty fun to play. Yeah, another vanilla card. Domgu likes to throw its mace at unsuspecting creatures for fun, so he's like the troublemaker kind of warrior I like to envision. HP is gonna be 110. Weakness or weakened HP 100. Attack is 250. Number 14, Domgu. And next we have Mads, the Matt, a scientific, or I cannot read, an unpredictable scientific anomaly. So I like to imagine Mads was like some weird thing created in a lab, and he escaped, and now he's just on rampage. You know, he got hired as a warrior, protecting, killing, or not killing, slaying beast and all that stuff. Spar cost 4, Lord Weakness Seal, and a 2 death cost, another common. So HP is going to be 200, weakened 180, and attack 300. Number 15, Mads. Because he went mad. And next up, now we're moving into the prime rares for warriors. Reek. He's a pretty scary looking guy, very purple. He's going to be a 6 spar cost. 6 spar cost, 2 Lord Weakness Seals, and a 4 death cost. Just a nice, strong vanilla warrior. Reek is a savage warrior specializing in onslaught. So I like his weapon a lot. I like drawing this. He has a scythe, and he slays, you know, anything in his way, specializing in onslaught. HP is going to be 400. Lord or weakness 280, and attack 600. Getting stronger now. Number 16 is Reek. And next up, Vectunia. So Vectunia is a female warrior, stealth agent. Vectunia is an expert stealth agent. He's a 5 prime rare, 5 spar cost, and 2 Lord Seals, and then 3 spar death costs. So HP is 320, weakened is 220, and attack is 580. So not as strong as Reek, but still pretty strong. And yeah, number 17 is Vectunia. I really like drawing this artwork, especially the moon in the background. It's pretty sick. Next up, Golemite. So Golemite, I really loved drawing the perspective of, and it's one of my favorite artworks. I love all my artworks, but I think Bartleby, you were asking for my favorite. This is one of my favorites. Big warrior. He wields a club, if you can see in the background. He has like a big club, inspired by like the Bokoblin and that from Zelda, the rock creatures. I forget what they're called. But like the brown kind of rock creatures from Zelda. I inspired this kind of creature. 8 spar cost, 3 Lord Weakness Seals, and 4 death cost. If another warrior you have in play is attacked, you may exert Golomite to block the attack. So he's like the ultimate protector, Golomite, the ultimate protector. So if you have him on the field, if you want to save like a higher, more ancient rare or like golden rare or something, higher powered warrior or any card, basically you can exert him and basically block the attack from happening to whatever entity you choose. HP is going to be 380, weakened 270, and attack is 560. Number 18, Golomite, the mighty Golomite. Next up, Brockamore. So he is a golden rare warrior now. Brockamore is like this massive, huge hunk of like beer. Used to have flavor text, but I removed it just for the space for the ability. But he's actually the protector of like the wastelands, graveyards, all that kind of like protector of the dead. Cost is going to be 11 for Lord Weakness Seals and 5 Spar Death Cost. And his ability, if your opponent revives a card from the graveyard by any means, slay an entity they have in play that costs 6 Spar or less. So, I've explained this in other videos, but you can like punish your opponent if they play, for example, Watunga, which does like a revival effect. Yeah, when slayed, if you have a beast in play, summon Watunga on your next turn. And now with the new kind of revival mechanic I made, which you can pay the death cost of an entity if they're in the graveyard, you can resummon them. You know, this Brockamore is a good card to, you know, punish them for that. HP is going to be 680, weakened 340, and attack is 800, so pretty powerful. Number 19, Brockamore. Hold on, I'm just going to take off my sweater for a second. Testing. Can y'all still hear me? It's my testing. Okay, yeah. Alright, next card. Garganti, the next golden rare of the Warriors. Max cost, actually, 12 Spar. For Lord Seals. Lord Weakness Seals. And I really love drawing this guy. He's like a weird beard made out of like, I don't even know if that's hair or like a slug or something. I like to think it's some alien body part. But basically he has spikes coming out of his back, and then he carries an axe, if you can see there, like a double-sided axe. He's like the executor. Yeah, so and he's a 6 Spar death cost. So his ability, if you summon Garganti on an opponent's beast, I cannot read. If you summon Garganti and an opponent's beast is weakened, slay that beast for free. And Garganti may still attack. So, if, for example, I summon Garganti, and if my opponent has, for example, an Arichi on their field, since I summoned a warrior, and Arichi is weak to warriors, Arichi would automatically be weakened. So, if that happens, Garganti Garganti's effect would take place, and I can basically slay this beast for free. So it plays around with the weakness mechanic. And on top of that, when that beast is slayed, a Garganti can still use his normal attack. So he can still exert and attack another one. So he's a pretty strong, powerful card to have. Can make a lot of decks with that, I think. What else? HP 600. Weakened is going to be 300. And attack is 890. Almost max. And that's going to be number 20. Alright, next up, we finished half of the warriors now in the set, so now we're moving on to lords. And the first lord is Yogg. He is a, lord type, one, moving on to commons again, so 1 spark cost, and he's weak to beasts. Lords are weak to beasts, so 1 beast weakness seal, and then 1 spar death cost. And so lords actually specialize in a lot of cool, small, different effects, but they're like good for combos and stuff. But they typically have lower HP and attack, but I think they make up for that in their cool effects. So when summoned, collect 1 spar from your deck and shuffle your deck. So Yogg is what's known as a collector, kind of. It's not an official term, it's like a fan pseudo term I like to use when a card allows you to search for your deck for a spar card and add it to your spar pile. I like to call those collectors. So when summoned, collect 1 spar card from your deck and you can shuffle your deck. This lets you get another card when summoned. Flavor text: Yogg defends small villages from beasts. So since he's weak to beasts, he's like brave and defends the less fortunate and stuff. HP is going to be 100. He is a bit weaker, because 100 is basically the minimum for a stat. I like to keep it in the hundreds. So basically, if Yogg gets weakened, his HP is going to be reduced to 0. But you can make up for that. You can protect him with like symbiotes and stuff, which we can get into a bit later. But attack is going to be 110, and he is number 21. I don't think my camera will. Oh, there we go. Focus. Yeah, there's Yogg. Super fun to draw. I like his staff, golden staff, like with an egg on top, or I don't know what that is. Fun to draw. And next up, Zaytun. I love coming up with Zaytun's name. I think it kind of fits the character really well. Another second lord. Another common. 4 spar costs, so you need 4 spars to summon him, and then 2 beasts for weakness, and then 2 spar death cost. And Zaytun's ability, if you have other lords in play and Zaytun is summoned, Zaytun gains 20 HP per lord, so he's really good if you're running a lord majority deck. If you have like a bunch of lords, like 7, 8, 9, I don't know, but he does gain 20 HP per lord, so that could be comboed pretty well. Zaytun oversees the glacier peaks high above. So as you can see, he's in the glaciers, 4-eyed weirdo garden. HP 180, and beast, or the weakness, cannot speak. His weakness is 160, attack is going to be 150. And yeah, number 22 is Zaytun. Next up, Karugel. Karugel is super fun to draw. He has no nose and he's just like a tiny gremlin, weird thingy, weird alien monster guy. 2 spar cost, 1 beast weakness seal, and 1 spar death cost. And Karugel's ability, when summoned, collect a symbiote from your deck and shuffle your deck. So another collector. Karugel lets you collect a symbiote, which is good for boosting stats and stuff. So you can combo that with other cards. Super useful. Karugel uses its staff to transform into Fierce. So basically, don't be afraid, because he can transform into your worst fear. And, you know, lore-wise, doesn't really have in-game effect, but it's cool. HP is gonna be 130, weakened 120, attack is 110, and he is number 23. Karugel. Next up, Narla. So Narla rules a small city in the mountains. So it's like kind of a cool alien ruler. Lord, spar cost 2, weakness is 1 beast weakness seal, and death cost is 1. When Narla is exerted, your opponent must drain 1 spar. So this actually can affect your opponent's spar. So basically, when it exerted, or when it attacks, basically every single time Narla would do that, my opponent would have to flip over or drain 1 of their spar. So could be mean, who knows? But I think it'll make a pretty fun effect. HP is going to be 100 again, the minimum. So weakened would just completely diminish him to 0. And attack is 120. Number 24. I'll start like. You guys want to take a picture or something? No. Next up, Remastor. So kind of half horse, spider, alien, weird lord kind of thing. It's 3 spar cost and 1 beast weakness seal and 2 spar death cost. And Remastor's ability, when summoned, you may look at the top card of your opponent's deck. So he's like, I imagine him kind of using his other senses, because he's actually blind. Remastor is blind and leads his tribe at night, so kind of uses his like lore powers to be able to see what's on top of your opponent's deck. I think it's pretty cool. HP is going to be 200, weakened 180, attack 160, and he is number 25. I really love drawing the background waterfall. I wanted to like switch it up a bit from just generic. Well, I guess they're not really generic, but I really enjoyed it. I really like the colors in this artwork, specifically. There's Remastor. Next up, Skrill. So Skrill, he's a lizard alien that trains in cold weather and the snowy areas of Ignaris. He is going to be a cost 7, 7 spar cost, 3 weakness seals, beasts, and 3 spar death cost. And we're getting into another prime rare. So Skrill is a bit stronger lord, a bit better effects. So if Skrill doesn't attack the same turn it was summoned, collect 3 spar cards, then shuffle. So another collector card there, Skrill. Skrill is the master of control in extreme states. So basically I like to think of Skrill as like the master of balance, Zen kind of thing. So basically, if he's summoned but doesn't attack, doesn't exert or anything, you can collect 3 spark cards and use them on your next turn. Yeah, so HP is going to be 300, weaken 210, and attack 300. Kind of like, what's the word? Like balance, you know? 300 and 300. I like that aspect. And he's number 26. There we go. Skrill. Okay. Next up, Grimly. So Grimly, I really enjoyed. Obviously inspired by Ki-Adi-Mundi from Star Wars, but his design is super epic. I like his mouth. I like drawing that. Grimly, I think it was a name given to me in like an Instagram way back when I was first starting the game, like as a suggestion, and I kept it. So 8 spar cost, 3 weakness seals, and 4 spar death cost. Another prime rare there. When summoned, collect a rune card from your deck and shuffle your deck. So Grimly is another collector. So Grimly, I cannot focus. But I don't know if it's gonna focus. But Grimly hunts for reward, excelling in telepathy. My bad. Yeah, so pretty neat lore there. He's like a bounty hunter, and with his big brain, he can like excel in telepathy. You know, I like the background too. The stars or the moons. I don't know what these are, but it's an alien planet. It's cool. HP is gonna be 350. Weakened 2. Oh, it's not focusing. There we go. 250 is weakened, and attack is 320. Number 27 is gonna be Grimly. Okay. Next up, Vertunos. He's like a winged lord there. Yeah, I like to imagine him as a guardian. So 6 spar cost, 2 weakness seals, 4 spar death cost, another prime rare, and Vertunos ability. Once per turn, you can reveal the highest cost card in your opponent's hand. So I like to think of it lore-wise. Vertunos sees through secret entryways, so obviously your opponent's hand is like a secret, but Vertunos can reveal that highest cost card. Can combo pretty good with a lot of other cards. HP is going to be 400, weakened 280, and attack is 340. Number 28, Vertunos. For anyone's watching, can you? Is the music too loud? This is a new setup I'm trying with my phone as a camera. I just want to make sure the music isn't overpowering my voice. But I'll keep going. So, the next card in Set 1 Fierce Mutations is going to be Arantico, our Lord Golden Rare. I really love drawing Arantico. I got inspired for the name and the design. Kind of, he's like spidery in Spanish. Araña is spider, so like Arantico kind of turned into like an alien name. I thought that was pretty cool. Spar cost 10, so pretty expensive, but I think worth it because he has a pretty strong ability. 4 beast weakness seals and 5 spar death cost. When Arantico is slayed, choose an opponent's entity. it must attack another of their entities, or you draw a card. So you give your opponent a choice. If they don't want to kill off one of their entities, they have to let you draw a card. Yeah, so basically, I remove some of the flavor text to fit the cool ability, but basically the lore behind it is like with his staff, he can subdue entities and to his will, you know. HP is gonna be 610. Weaken 310, and attack is 630. Number 29, Arantico. Stream so early. Yeah, sorry about that. Maybe I'll stream a bit later, but I'm just still experimenting. But we'll continue. Next entity, Knock, the Greedy King, Lord. Spar cost is 11, so almost to max. Max weakness seals are going to be 4, so his 4 beast weakness seals, and a 6 spar death cost, another golden rare. And his ability, Knock, can prevent being weakened if you have other lords in play, and drain opponent spar equal to the number of those lords. So this is pretty good. Like I like to imagine him as like a greedy kind of, he hoards spar for himself. So the ability kind of reflects that. If you have other lords in play, they can be like Nox minions, and he's summoned, or not summoned. If he can just prevent being weakened if you just have, you know, other lords, and based on the number of those lords, my opponent has to drain spar equal to that amount. So pretty cool, pretty powerful. HP 700. Weakened is 350 and attack 650. And there's going to be number 30. Oops. Knock the Lord. Next up. Oh yeah, so Spar. So technically in the set there's 104 cards, but since Spar is a resource, I like to say that there's just 103 unique cards, because Spar, I came up with the concept after I designed all these cards, way back though. The concept is finalized now, but basically Spar is number 31 in the set. Yeah. Spar is the ultimate source of energy on Ignaris. It emits star-like energy, sealing the evils lurking within the planet. So there's a bit of lore there. Spar is your resource that powers the entire game. Next up, I think we're moving on to ability cards now, or not ability cards. I renamed it to rune cards. So they're gonna be, yes, so rune cards. So the first is gonna be Conjure, Common. So rune cards, they cost some spar to be able to summon them. They work the same as entities. If you just have like your spar levels enough, you can summon as many rune cards within that range. So for Conjure, you only need 2. And Conjure, rune cards are basically just like powerful abilities, just like spells, like in Magic. Revive 1 of any card from your graveyard and add it to your hand. So Conjure could actually come in really useful if you revive an entity, and basically to revive you from your spar pile, you have to replace or discard your spar in your graveyard to summon an entity that was in your graveyard. But Conjure can be very useful, like because you can return that spar to your spar pile, basically reviving it, because it says one of any card. And it's a normal summon, so normal summon just means you can summon it only on your turn on your main phase. There are other cards that are counter summon, which you can summon on your opponent's turn. And yeah, this Conjure is going to be number 32. Boom! Whoops. There we go. Forgot the spar. Next up, next rune card is going to be Chrono Chip. So, Chrono Chips cost 2 spar, and I changed the ability. It now reads attach Chrono Chip to a life card. It now requires 2 attacks to shatter. So I think this works way better, especially with the life card system. Yeah, basically, if you attach Chrono Chip, my opponent would need 2 attacks from 2 different entities to get rid of the Chrono Chip and then attack my life card. Basically a protection. Its original effect, though, was to link 2 entities, which I didn't think was too useful because you already have the symbiotes to like boost your stats and stuff, so you don't need to link to kind of what's the word? To attack stats and HP stats. That's basically what it did before. But anyway, another normal summon. Yeah, number 33. Chrono Chip. Don't ask me why it's Chrono Chip, I just thought it sounded cool. Next up, we have Awaken. 3 spar cost. Another common. Awaken reads, summon any entity in your hand with an HP of 600 or less directly on the field with no cost. So basically a free summon if your entity you want to summon is under 600 HP, which a lot of entities are, so it'd be pretty useful. Yeah, just a nice card to have. Normal summon again. Summon it on your main phase. And it's number 34. Awaken. Still got a lot, dang. We're going through all 103. Next up, Wipeout. So Wipeout is a 4 spar cost. And another common. I really like doing this effect kind of thing. I don't know what kind of blob he is, but maybe I'll make some lore on him later. I really like the artwork on this one though. So yeah, Wipeout's ability, discard all your opponent's symbiotes that are mutated to their entities. So basically just a remove symbiote card. Symbiotes you can attach to your entities and they boost stats and stuff, so you can wipe those out with Wipeout. Funny. And so here, it's actually a counter summon. So this can be really useful to respond to your opponent and stuff like that. You can counter summon means you can use it anytime during your opponent's turn, even on their main phase or on their strike phase or anytime, you know. So you can actually, if they're about to attack you, you can wipe out, remove all of their symbiotes, and maybe they use a symbiote that boosts their attack. So if you play Wipeout, then you remove that symbiote, and he's attacking a more powerful one of your entities, his entity would die. So it's a pretty cool combo card to include. He is number 35. Wipeout. Excuse me. Okay. Next up, we have Blind. Blind is also one of my favorite artworks. Definitely up there. 2 spar cost to summon it. Again, it's a normal summon, so blind you can only use on your main phase. And blind ability reads, when you summon an entity, you may place it face down and reveal it when you choose. So, kind of allows for like a trap card mechanic like Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you want to secretly place, you know, an entity, but you don't want your opponent to know, you can place blind on it. And yeah, so now if your opponent attacks it, it doesn't know if it's going to be like more powerful than theirs, and if it is, you can flip it over and say, "Ha, I beat you," you know. And yeah, you can reveal it whenever you choose. And number 36, blind. Ignaris stream, let's go. Hey, Apple Scrones, thanks for joining. Yes, we still have a lot of cards to go through, so feel free to stay, chat, and stuff. Yeah, so moving on to the next one. Force Field. So Force Field is a 4 spar cost. Rune. I cannot think today. I'm sorry. Another common. So Force Field allows you to protect all cards on your field from attacks 700 attack or less for 1 turn. So, yeah, just a protector card. If you place it in front of your entities, or you can place it anywhere, but basically just protects all entities from any attacks your opponent does that are 700 or less. Only 1 turn though. And it's a counter summon, so despite it being 1 turn, you can actually, you know, you don't have to place it on your main phase and let your opponent prepare for it. You can let your opponent attack you, and in response, you can be like, "Hot Force Field." I force field your card, and if their attack is 700 or less, you protect all your entities, and basically their attack doesn't go through. Their entity remains exerted. Boom! You have an opening. So pretty cool combo card. Next up, boom, Reflect. So Reflect is a 3 cost spark cost card, another common. So Reflect is similar to Force Field, except you can actually deflect their attack onto another one of their entities. So reflect back any attacks onto an opponent's entity of your choice. If no entities, reflect back onto a life card. So basically, yeah, it's essentially exactly what it says. If your opponent attacks you, you can counter summon it on their turn, you know, and whip it out and say, "No, I reflect your attack," and then you have the option to choose what you want it reflected onto. One of their, if they have entity on the field, you have to reflect it onto an entity of your choice. And if they have no entities, you can choose to reflect it onto one of their life cards, and boom, super useful card to have. That's going to be number 38. Reflect. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make an entity based off of this creature right here. I kind of drew him just for the ability, or the rune card, but let me know if you're interested. Alrighty. Next up. Boom! Dispel. So very, very, what's the word? Like essential to have in every single deck, I think. Dispel is a 2 cost, spark cost card. Just a counter spell. Discard any rune cards your opponent has in play. So if they have like a rune card affecting you, maybe they counter summon something, you can in turn counter summon the dispel and dispel whatever effect they have. Or if they have, for example, a blind, you can actually dispel the blind card and reveal their card. So super useful, dispel. That's gonna be number 39. And moving on, Exhaust. Exhaust is another one of my favorite artworks. Bartleby, if you're still here. But yeah, I really enjoyed making this with the wasteland and like the ghost energy, dark. I don't know. It's cool artwork. 2 cost, rune card. Basically, weaken the HP of all entities your opponent has in play for 1 turn. So yeah, just a weaken, pretty useful card to have. If you have no entities, or if you're playing just like a mono entity deck or something, useful to have a couple copies of this to actually be able to weaken your opponent's entities and get them faster. It is a normal summon, so you'd have to play it on your main phase. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be number 40. Ooh, or Exhaust. Exhaust, not weaken. Exhaust. And next up is Flick. Super fun artwork. I just did this with my hand and kind of traced it. Not traced it, like copied it, but I like the idea of like a monster, weird fingernail alien hand. 2 cost card. Basically lets you shuffle one of your opponent's entities from their hand or their deck back in. What am I saying? Shuffle one of your opponent's entities from their hand or on their field back into their deck. So this, again, is a counter summon, so you can summon it on your opponent's turn whenever. This would actually combo really well with, a while back here, we had, let me find him, Vertunos. So Vertunos would let you reveal the highest cost card in your opponent's hand, and if you do, if you know what your opponent has in their hand, you can actually flick that card back in their deck so they have no chance of summoning it, heightening your chances of winning, or getting through their life cards faster without their annoying strong cards, yeah. So that's gonna be number 41, Flick. Alright, next up, Jack. So Jack was actually one of my best friends helped me illustrate him. He was actually, the reason he has a staff was because I was originally going to make him a lord, but I think he would work pretty well as a rune card, ability card as they were called before. But essentially, we're moving on to the prime rares now. Jack is the first prime rare, 6 spar cost, and his ability, Jack becomes a duplicate of any entity you have on your field, so a copy card. So if you have an entity, a really strong entity you like, you can normal summon on your main phase. Boom, it now becomes a copy of it. Super simple, allows for strong ramp ups and stuff. That's going to be number 42. Next up is Eliminate. So almost a board wipe, essentially like an entity board wipe. It's going to be an 8 cost, spar cost, prime rare, and it says slay all your opponent's entities on the field that have an HP of 700 or less. So if your opponent has a bunch of low cost warriors or just like prime rare warriors, you can basically eliminate and slay all of them for like a nice clean board wipe. And yeah, it's a normal summon though, so you can't counter summon this because that would be way too powerful, I think. And that's going to be number 43. Eliminate. Alrighty. Next up, Paralysis. I think I mentioned there was a Paralysis card back in the first cards. But yeah, Paralysis, another prime rare. It's going to be a 4 cost card. So Paralysis was like one of the only, I wanted to try kind of like a gamble card effect here. So Paralysis reads, if, not if, why am I saying? Roll a dice. If the result is even, an opponent's entity of your choice cannot attack for 1 turn. If odd, all your entities lose 50 HP for 1 turn. So it's a gamble, but if you get an even number, it would be pretty useful. Essentially, yeah, if the result is even, an opponent's entity of your choice cannot attack for 1 turn. So basically, if your opponent has a really high cost card like an ancient rare, which is like has max stats, you could choose to paralyze it and they can't attack. It's different from, like, for example, like a force field. You're not actually protecting your cards because force field has a limit on it. With paralysis, you can get like any like max cost card. It's not too bad of a trade-off. 50 HP you can easily get back with symbiote and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a normal summon. This is going to be number 40 for Paralysis. Let me know if you want an entity of this guy that I drew. Alrighty. Boom! So now we have Swap. So still a prime rare, 6 spar cost. And his ability is switch any of your entities on the field with 1 in your hand. So this is a funny counter card that you can play that might make your opponents mad, but it is a counter summon. So a combo that I like to try is like if your opponent is attacking you and you have a low cost entity, if you have a higher cost entity in your hand and you have enough to summon Swap, you can place it and switch your lower cost with your higher cost, making your opponent's entity have to or slain. So you know, it's a switch and bait kind of thing. It's a funny card. Can be pretty useful in a lot of decks though. Number 45, Swap. And next up, Upgrade. So Upgrade, another one of my favorite artworks that shows like in a lab, like an entity is getting mutated with a bunch of random symbiotes. It's going to be a 7 cost spar. What am I? 7 spar cost. Another prime rare. So Upgrade just lets you collect up to 3 symbiotes from your deck and mutate them to your entities. So pretty good if you're running like a symbiote deck. It could be pretty good to ramp up those symbiotes. And again, you can have 3 copies of any card. So 3 copies of Upgrade. That's going to be 9 symbiotes you can collect. Yeah, and it's actually a counter summon too. So with Upgrade, you can, even if your opponent's attacking you, you can even like use it and collect a symbiote and mutate the attacked entity. And with that, you can, you know, have higher HP and then like make your opponent get slain. Super cool combos you can try. That's going to be number 46. Upgrade. Ooh, hold on, my back is killing me. Ugh. Okay. Whew. I have to stretch a bit. So next up is gonna be Eat. So it's a prime rare 8 cost spark cost rune. And basically exert a mutated beast on your field and slay all your lords your opponent has in play. So I like to imagine it like this is like a mutated entity that with symbiotes got like mutated, and then basically you can exert and it's eating all of your opponent's lords with his big disgusting mouth. But yeah, it could be like a pretty useful card if you only have one beast or something and you need to get rid of a lot of your opponent's entities or your opponent's lords. Beast is super useful. Yeah, normal summon though, so you would have to summon it on your main phase, and that's going to be number 47. Eat. And with that, I think we are almost halfway done the 103 card showcase. What are we at? 2 hours? No, it's 1 hour, right? Yeah. All good. Okay, next up, Mirror. So it's a 5 cost prime rare. Mirror is another one of my favorite artworks. I really love the hands and like the mirror and everything. Mysterious. So Mirror's ability, use your opponent's spar level to summon entities or other rune cards. So this is a good catch-up card if you're running low on spar, if you need like some desperate spar entities or something. Mirror lets you use your opponent's spar if they're ahead of you, if they have like a bunch of spar lined up and a bunch of entities lined up. You can mirror your opponent's spar and summon your own entities and like line up. And yeah, it's a nice useful card to have. Normal summon, and that's going to be number 48 for Mirror. Alright, and next up is the ultimate Ignaris board wipe, Restart. So Restart actually has a lore aspect to it, which I'm working on the lore, guys. I promise I'll release it soon. It's really good. So obviously max spark cost here, 12, and it is a golden rare. And Restart, essentially, big board wipe, slay all entities, runes, and symbiotes in play, and drain all spar. And the person who played it, essentially, your turn becomes as if it was the first turn of the game. So you wouldn't be able to attack after that, but it is a good board wipe. Pretty useful to have. Yeah, normal summon, so you could only use this in your main phase. I think it'd be a bit too powerful if you use it as a counter, but let me know. That's going to be number 49. Restart the ultimate board wipe. And next up, it's going to be Deactivate. So another golden rare, moving into the golden rare runes now. 11 spark cost. And Deactivate is drain all of your opponent's charged spar. In turn, they may look at one of your life cards. So I think playing around with your opponent's resource is a bit, like, people don't like that, but so instead of just having a card that lets you just flat out delete or drain all your opponent's spar, even if they can like re-flip it over, recharge it on the next turn, I still kind of had a benefit, or kind of it's like a drawback for you. So you just so you don't have like the full advantage of it, you know. So they can look at one of your life cards. Still pretty powerful, and it's a counter summon, so you could summon this on your opponent's turn, prevent them from playing creatures and stuff. And that's going to be number 50. Deactivate. Alright, next up is going to be Raid. Raid Shadow Legends. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Not really. I wish. But Raid, another kind of lore card. I like the swarm of like entities swarming the castle or structure or whatever. 9 cost card. Raid's ability before was 2 OP, so I actually changed it to any number of warriors you have in play may exert to slay the same number of lords in your opponent's deck. So essentially, any number of warriors that you have in play, you can exert all of those, and in turn, instead of looking through your opponent's deck, which was what you can do before, you don't do that. Basically, your opponent goes through and slays 3 of their own lords based on the number of lords you exerted. So I think that's a pretty useful card, and it doesn't allow for you to see your opponent's whole deck, which is what this card used to do, which is you could search your opponent's deck and take out a certain cost card in their graveyard. I thought that was too powerful, but yeah, it is a normal summon, and there's going to be number 51 for Raid. Golden Rare. And I think we're moving on now to, yeah, the symbiotes. So symbiotes I'm going to go through pretty quick. They're just kind of like little stat boosts, and that's what this kind of whole set is based around. It's called Fierce Mutations. So the symbiotes are mysteriously appearing on the planet of Ignaris, and they're mutating all the entities and making them bloodthirsty and fight and everything. So not mutant. Didn't call them mutagens. Symbiotes actually take a few turns to fully mutate or like fully activate their ability. They used to be completely free before, but I think the turns add kind of a balance to it. They don't cost Spar though. Only a few turns, but some are free, like Grieg, 0 turns. Mutated entity can attack 1 more time, so +1 attack. Basically gives an entity re-exert power, so if they exert, you can mutate it and re-exert to slay another entity. 1 extra attack. That's going to be number 52. Boom! And next up is Mog, the weird faceless sludge guy. Again, it's a free symbiote because it's like it's a common. It's not too powerful. It's nice. It's a nice effect. Basically, mutated entity costs 1 less charge bar to play. So basically, you can reduce the cost of an entity to play it on the field if you mutate them both and play them on the field there. So if an entity costs 4, play Mog. You only need to charge 3. Boom, easy peasy. Next up is Glunky. So this one plays with the Warrior Seals, so the Weakness Seals. Another free card, but essentially you can add 1 Warrior Seal to an entity, so you can make your entities more resistant to whatever your opponent has. So, for example, Ogrim here, to weaken him, he would cost, or my opponent would need 1 Warrior Seal. If I mutate him, he now requires 2 warriors. My opponent would require 2 warriors to weaken him. Yeah, so that's essentially how like these kind of symbiotes work. Yes, that's gonna be Glunky number 54. Next up, Spades. Again, just another warrior seal there. Add one lord, or not warrior, lord. Add one lord seal to an entity. Works the same way. And fun fact, you don't actually have to use the lord seal on like another entity that has a lord seal. You can mutate Spades to Karugel, and that works too. Now Karugel just requires a beast and a lord to weaken. Yeah, so I think that would be some cool combos you could try with that. Oh, it's gonna be number 55, Spades. Hey, Epic Underworlds, thanks for joining. Congrats on so many cards. Thank you, man. Yeah, I've just been working hard at this. I have all Fierce Mutations cards, and I'm working on the expansion that I'm going to be releasing on Kickstarter. That's going to be Echo Spawn. So stay tuned. Next up is Nakrug, or Nakrug. I originally called it Nakrug. A lot of people have called it Nakrug, which I think sounds pretty epic. I don't know, you guys can pronounce it how you want. But again, another warrior. I keep saying warrior. Another weakness seal, so this is going to be a beast. So you can add a beast seal to an entity. Add one beast seal to an entity. Another free card too. 0 turns to play. Doom, 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 doom. And this one, Exox. So Exox is essentially boost your stats. HP is going to be plus 100. So mutated entity gains 100 HP. Pretty basic. You can mutate him to an entity, and it makes it more powerful. We're more resistant for the HP side. That's going to be number 57. Next up, Zabel. So Zabel, another one of my favorite drawings. Yeah, another kind of stat boost there. Mutated entity gains 100 attack this time, so basically you can play around with making the attack more powerful. If you have a beast, it'd be pretty useful to mutate Zabel to, because beasts have kind of lower attack stats but high HP, so you can balance it out with a symbiote like Zabel. Number 58. Next up, Inoga. So now we're moving on to the prime rare symbiotes. And the primers are actually going to require 1 turn to fully mutate or activate its effect. And Inoga, basically a more powerful Exox, but it allows you to gain 150 HP this time. So if you basically want to mutate an entity, you place it on the field, but its effect does not take place until after 1 turn. That's going to be number 59. Next up, boom! Regu! The gross red slob person, or symbiote creature thingy. Another prime rare, again, 1 full turn to activate. And Regu, actually, kind of like a Mog. I like to think that... Hold on, where is Mog? I like to think that Regu is kind of the next step in evolution of a Mog, because, you know, same effect kind of thing. Mog is -1. Regu allows you to remove 4 to a spar cost. Yeah. Yeah, so mutated entity costs 4. Oh, it's not. There. Mutated entity costs 4 less charge bar to play. And that's going to be number 60. Regu. Next up, we have Gigos. So this is another kind of warrior. I keep saying warrior. What is this? Weakness, like a weakness seal kind of stat boost. So this time it's two beasts. But in turn, you'd have to wait 1 turn to activate, add 2 beast seals to an entity, and it is number 61. Trust me, because it's not focusing. 61. Next up is Gouch. Again, with another weakness seal. So this time you can add 2 lord seals, and you have to wait 1 turn. Number 62, Gouch. Next up, Neki. So like a 3-headed, kind of the evolution of Grieg, which it has 2 heads, I think. If I can find it. Kind of the evolution of Grieg there. And is a prime rare, cost 1 turn to fully activate or fully mutate, and essentially gives you 2 extra attacks. So that's pretty powerful. If you have like a powerful entity and you add a Neki to it, you can attack 2 more times. So giving him 3 attacks in total. Number 63 is going to be Neki. Okay, next up is Grukin. Another weakness seal. This time it is add 2 warrior seals to an entity. Prime rare, 1 turn to activate. And number 64, Grukin. Next up, so here is Krolu, the golden rare. So we're going into golden rares now, which actually require 2 turns to fully mutate because they're pretty powerful mutation effects. Yeah, so mutated entity would gain 200 HP, which I think is pretty powerful, especially since you can have 3 copies of any card. Yeah, essentially that's what Krolu does there. My good friend JG, I won't reveal his name, but he helped me design his character design, essentially. Number 65. Next up, we have Wretch. This is one of my favorite artworks for a symbiote. I think I did. I really like the way it turned out, and it looks. In the background too, he's coming out of some sort of weird microscopic kind of weird fleshy thing. I don't know. It's cool. But Wretch is actually a prime rare. He requires 1 turn. Requires 1 turn to fully activate, and the mutated entity would gain 150 attack. So, kind of the evolution of where is it? I cannot find it. Zabel, if it's somewhere there, but evolution is Zabel. Wretch. Next up is Agath, the mighty golden rare mutation disgusting creature. Again, he's a golden rare, so 2 turns to fully activate, and mutated entity costs 8 less charge bar to play. So super powerful. You can actually reduce a entity's spar cost by 8. full spar. And that's going to be number 67. Next is Yargle. Disgusting symbiote. Golden rare, 2 full turns. And again, super powerful effect. Mutated entity can attack 3 more times. So on top of its regular attack, if you mutate it with Yargle successfully, without your opponent killing your entity, it would gain 3 extra attacks. So kill 3 entities or 2 entities and a life card, or whatever. Super powerful. And that's going to be number 68. Almost done, guys. How long we've been streaming? 2 hours. Okay, next up is Crick. So basically a powerful golden rare, but requires 2 turns to activate, but essentially makes your entity super powerful, super resistant. Adds 3 beast seals to an entity. So your opponent would need 3 extra beast seals to weaken it. Or beasts to weaken it, not beast seals. That's going to be number 69 for Crick. There he is. Next up is Midbuke. Disgusting. Even though I drew these. No, I really like these artworks. Another golden rare, 2 turns to activate. Yeah, essentially just another addition for weakness seals there. Add 3 Lord seals to an entity. Yeah, makes the entity pretty powerful. It's going to be number 70. Next up is Hexno, the final addition to the weakness seals there. It's going to be Lords, so add 3 warrior seals. Not Lords, warriors. It's going to be warriors. Add 3 warrior seals to an entity. Another golden rare, 2 full turns to activate. And number 71. Next up is Rig. Okay, so now we're getting to the next half of the entities. So we're going to the second half of the beasts in set 1. Rig, going back to a common. 2 spar cost, 1 warrior weakness seal, and 1 spar death cost. Again, another vanilla card there. Rig has 3 stomachs and is able to consume poisonous plants. Some cool lore there. HP is going to be 290. Sorry, I think I'm moving the card too much. It's not focusing. There, 290, weakness 260, and attack is 100. That's number 72. Next up is Kelligrin. So Kelligrin has a cool ability, or effect. So it's going to be 3 spar cost, 1 warrior seal, and 1 death cost. And so actually you can use Kelligrin. You may charge Kelligrin like a spar card to summon cards for 1 turn. If you do, shuffle it back in your deck after the turn is passed. So essentially, if you're running low on spar or something, Kelligrin can act as a spar card. You can charge him and increase your spar level and to summon better entities. And if you do, you'd have to shuffle it back in your deck after 1 turn, but he is still playable and summonable instead of just being discarded. His flavor text before was he could like transform into objects and, you know, camouflage and stuff like that. So I think it's a pretty cool beast there. HP 300 and weakened 270 and attack is 120. Again, higher HP than attack because it's a beast. And is going to be number 73. Kelligrin. Just want to double check that my mic is still working. Testing. Okay, yeah. We're good. Alrighty. Next up, Mumcat. I like Mumcat's name and his artwork. I really like the vines and stuff. One of my favorites. Again, Beast, 1 Spark cost, 1 Warrior Weakness Seal, and 2 Death cost. Common. Just another cool vanilla card there. No effect. Mumcat's beak is highly venomous, so kind of like Arichi's beak, or Arichi's legs. Yeah. HP is going to be 270. Warrior weakness is 240, and attack is 150. 74. Okay, next up, Gekkoon. I really like this artwork. I enjoyed like making like a three-eyed weird gecko monster. It is just a kind of another vanilla card, but still cool. 1 Spark cost, 1 Warrior Weakness Seal, 1 Spar Death cost, and flavor text: Gekkoon's eyes can regenerate if it loses them. A cool piece of lore there. And HP is going to be 280, 250 weakened, and attack 200. Number 75. That's Gekkoon. Next up is Trigloob. I really like this character design. I think it's one of my best ones. It's a weird alien, disgusting thing. And I really like the background, like canyon or abyss kind of thingy. Just another kind of vanilla card though. One Spark cost, 1 Warrior Weakness Seal, and 2 Death cost. Trigloob feeds off of toxic gases emitted by wasteland canyons. So I think it's a cool bit of lore there, especially with this character design kind of mouth thing. I don't know. It's cool. And then HP 300, weaken 210, attack 170, number 76. Next up, Scrimpion. So Scrimpion is kind of like a muscle beast, really powerful vanilla card still, but has good stats. So prime rare, 6 Spark cost, 2 Warrior Weakness Seals, and 3 Spar Death cost. And it says Scrimpion lures its enemies into dark areas before attacking. So it's like a lure monster in caves and stuff. Or lure. HP 600. I was gonna say attack. Weaken HP is 420 and attack is 330. Number 77, Scrimpion. Boom! Next up is Crocolops, one of my favorite artworks. I love this. It's like a red monster in a red background. I think it fits really well though, and so it's a prime rare 7 Spark cost entity. It is 1, 2, 3 Warrior Seals, and a 4 Spar Death cost. Just a vanilla card, but pretty powerful. Crocolops will hunt down an enemy the rest of its life once it locks its eye with them. So if you stare down Crocolops, beware because he's coming for you. So his HP is going to be 560, weakened 390, and attack 320. And that's going to be number 78. Crocolops. Oops. There we go. And next up, Polymorph, another one of my absolute favorite artworks. I need to do more underwater stuff, but this is like an underwater kind of beast creature. In the oceans of Ignaris there. The prime rare, 4 spar cost, 2 weakness seals, and 3 spar death cost. And its ability is pretty interesting. If Polymorph is weakened and your opponent has a lord in play, you gain control of that lord. So I wanted to tie it into like he kind of pulls entities underwater with him, like drowns them. I think that's what it says. Polymorph drags enemies down in the depths. So kind of like if I get weakened, if Polymorph is weakened by 2 warriors your opponent has, basically if your opponent controls a lord, Polymorph can take control of that, drag him down. And yeah, HP is going to be 580. Weakened for 10. Attack is 300. And he's number 79. Polymorph. Next up, Wendemort. I kind of went with the same name kind of thing, but I think Wendemort is a super cool name. Obviously, taking inspiration from the Wendigo, the real life cryptid, but I think it fit the character design pretty well. He's a Wendemort's the golden rare beast, 9 spar cost, 3 weakness seals, and 6 spar death cost. Yeah, so when summoned, if your opponent has a cost 9 or higher beast in play, Wendemort gains that beast effect. So Wendemort is kind of the like jealous type. It like steals abilities from higher powered entities more powerful than itself. So yeah, basically ability stealer. If your opponent has a beast that has an ability, you can steal it. HP is going to be 880, pretty strong, almost max, which is 900. But weakened is going to be 440, and attack is 650. Number 80, Wendemort. Next up is Ryakin. So, another one of my favorite artworks. I love all of them. I can't decide, but he's a pretty powerful golden rare there. 8 spar cost, 3 weakness seals, and 5 spar death cost. If Ryakin is mutated, collect a rune card from your deck and shuffle your deck. So this is a pretty powerful card for like a standard deck for set 1, which is Fierce Mutations. Has all about the mutating. So Ryakin can be like a commander card if you want. Yeah, if he's mutated, I can collect a powerful rune card, maybe restart and board wipe or something. Yeah, Ryakin grows as a carnivorous plant in the Alps. So Ryakin is a plant, if you can see here. I don't know, but cool lore fact. HP 870, almost max. Weakened is 430, and attack is 620. That's going to be number 81, Ryakin. Almost done, guys. We are pretty much halfway done, or past halfway. Next up, so now we're moving on to the second half of the Lords. So Kit, not Lords, sorry, second half of the Warriors. So Kit is just a nice vanilla common card. 2 spar cost, 1 Lord Seal, and 1 spar death cost. And it's flavor text: Kit made its blade and helmet from leftover beast bones. So essentially, since beasts are weak to warriors, Kit kind of has prized collection of beasts and stuff, and he made his helmet and sword from beast bone. So cool fun fact. His HP is going to be low though. Minimum is 100, so weakened he would go down to 0. But his attack is pretty good, 300. Not too bad. And he's going to be number 82. Kit. Next up is Gamga. So Gamga has a cool like mace there, pretty powerful. He hides in caves, just like kind of chill dude. But he's a 2 spar cost, 1 Lord Seal, and 2 spar death cost. Another nice vanilla card. Gamga uses its mace to break apart structures to feed on, so it feeds on, you know, wood, stones, stuff like that. Cool alien thing. HP is gonna be 130, weakened 120, and attack 290. That's gonna be number 83. It's Gamga. Next up is Morphia. So another female warrior, alien warrior. 4 spar cost and 2 weakness seals, and it's gonna be a 1 spar death cost. Just another strong vanilla card there. Morphia can change its skin color to blend in. Fun lore fact. And then HP is gonna be 200, weakened 180, and attack is 250. So nice, cool design there. Next up is Berserk. So obviously, I think I was inspired by Berserk, the anime, and I thought it would be a cool name for like some sort of creature. But Berserk wears like a full body of armor. Yeah, and he's like another vanilla card, but strong attack there. 1 spar cost, 1 weakness seal, and 1 death cost. Berserk guards ruins and caves, so like a ruining cave guardian. HP 150. Weakened 140 and attack 230. Number 85. And next is Aguos, the Prince of Ignaris Oceans. So he's going to be a 2 spar cost. Weakness is 1 Lord Seal and 2 spar death cost. And his ability is pretty cool. If Aguos is slayed by a Lord, you may summon a warrior from your deck free of cost. Yeah, so could combo well with if you have a warrior deck. Aguos is the Prince of many Ignar Seas. HP is 140, weakened 130, and attack 220. Number 86. Aguos. Next up is Quarian. So Quarian is inspired by Kit Fisto from Star Wars, the alien. I thought he had a pretty cool tentacle design here. But it's gonna be Prime Rare. I cannot think anymore. But Prime Rare, he's a 4 spar cost, 2 weakness seal, and 2 spar death cost there. And Quarian calculates and strikes in a single swing with its 360-degree peripheral vision. So with its 3 eyes there, it can see all around its head. Super unique. HP is going to be 340, weaken 240, and attack 580. That's going to be number 87. Next up is Ronabeak. I think Ronabeak is going to be my all-time favorite artwork there, or one of them, because it's really high up there. One of my favorite artworks. So Ronabeak is a prime rare, 5 spar cost, 2 weakness seals, and 4 spar death cost. And Ronabeak is like a heavy hitter, you know. Ronabeak may slay 2 entities with 1 attack only if it was summoned in the same turn. So if I summon it, if my opponent has 2 entities and Ronabeak's attack is high enough, boom, get rid of them. Easy peasy. It's spar so actually its weapon, it uses like spar crystal fragments, and it whips them around, you know, knocking out slaying entities. Pretty cool. Its spar fragments fuel Ronabeak's strength. So because it wields spar, it has like enhanced strength, and that's why it can attack 2 entities in 1 attack. So pretty cool piece of lore there. And then HP is going to be 400, weakened is 280, and attack is 500. Number 88, Ronabeak. I'm eating macaroni watching your stream. Yay! Oh my gosh, I love macaroni. That sounds very good, Emma. Thanks for watching and supporting stuff. But next up, Rotblock. Rotblock is a super cool design that I sketched back in like middle school, so I thought it would make a pretty cool entity for this game. Yeah, Rotblock is 5 spar cost, 2 Lord Seals, and 3 spar death cost. Prime rare. And obviously, Rotblock has hardened, unpierceable skin because he's made of blocks or rocks. He has like 2 maces. I like to imagine him like his body can turn, like spin, and then the maces like swing, and you know he can run up at entities. And whew. But HP is gonna be 300. Attack weaken to 10 and attack 600. That's gonna be number 89. Next up, Xanthopoulos. I like this name and his artwork too. So Xanthopoulos, he wields like steel balls that he like throws at light speed. Golden rare warrior. So Xanthopoulos is golden rare, 10 cost, and 4 weakness steals. So and 5 spar death cost. And basically, if your opponent shatters one of your life cards, Xanthopoulos gains 70 HP. I thought that would make it a pretty interesting way of kind of life card mechanic. So basically, you'd have 3 chances of gaining 70 HP, because if they slayed the 4th life card, then you would lose the game. But you can gain 70 HP 3 times as the potential. Xanthopoulos swings steel balls at light speed. Yeah, so like I explained. Pretty cool character design, I think. Kind of a bird bug alien. And HP is going to be 700, weakened 350, attack max 900. That's going to be number 90. Almost done, guys. Next up, Nicrone, another creature I designed way back in middle school. Yeah, I sketched it out. Nicrone is a golden rare, 9 cost, 3 weakness seals, 5 death death cost. I can't speak. But his ability reads, if Nicrone slays a beast, return an opponent's lord to their hand. So I think that'd be a pretty interesting way to build a deck around, you know? I can keep sending my opponent's entities in their hand and get through killer life cards because their field is empty. And basically Nicrone's, or flavor text, Nicrone's death stare paralyzes its victims. So, super cool bit of lore there. He has pink, scary eyes. Yeah, so HP is going to be 670. Weakened 340 and attack 790. Number 91. And I'm watching Minecraft movie at the same time. Nice, nice, Emma. Minecraft movie slaps. Next up, Grillion. So we're moving on. Last half of the Lords almost done. So Grillion is gonna be a 2 cost, 1 Beast Seal, and 1 Death cost. Grillion, one of my favorite artworks. I love the colors on this and the background design and everything. And it's like, you know, his character design and his staff and everything. It just, he kind of looks like a scientist, sorcerer, weird alien guy. But if slayed by a warrior, your opponent must drain spar equal to that warrior's death cost. So it goes with the flavor text. Grillion takes life force from attackers when hurt. Basically, yeah, if a warrior defeated my Grillion, my opponent would have to drain spar equal to the warrior's death cost, which that killed me. So basically, if my opponent went all out and killed me with a strong card, they'd have to drain like a lot of spar. So HP is going to be 130, and weakness 120, attack 120, and number 92, Grillion. Dang, it's been 2 hours. Holy crap. What does my little crown number 1 mean? Oh, that means you're the number 1 chatter, Emma. Congratulations. Super epic. What's the word? Title. You're the queen, Emma. Next up is gonna be Gogi, the balanced or Zen frog alien. Gogi's a fan favorite. He's a common warrior, beast. What am I saying? Spar cost 2, beast seal, and 1 spar death cost. Basically, Gogi's a collector. So when summoned, collect 2 spar cards from your deck, and you can shuffle your deck. Another collector card. Gogi balances an impossible. Oh, Gogi balances on impossible structures. So pretty agile, pretty cool lore. HP is going to be 120, weaken 110, and attack 180. Number 93. Boom. Next up, we have Stool. So Stool's pretty good. He roams the underground searching for spar and stuff. So he's a 1 spar cost, 1 bestial, and 2 spar death cost. I think his ability goes with his flavor text there. When summoned, you may return 1 spar card from your graveyard to your spar pile. So, yeah, and Stool scavenges the underground with troops. So essentially, this works really well with the revival mechanic. So if you want to revive entity, you'd have to pay spar and discard it to your spar or your graveyard. And essentially, Stool can bring back that spar. So pretty good character to have if your deck relies on revival a lot. HP is going to be 100, unfortunately the minimum, and then his weakened is going to be 0, and then attack is going to be 200. So yeah, he's going to be number 94 for Stool. Almost done. Next up is Foulimar. He's so foul. He's got this weird tongue that wraps around his body. 1 spar cost, 1 beast seal, and 1 spar death cost. And when summoned, your opponent must drain 2 spar cards. So basically, when I summon, it's kind of like a life force drain. My opponent has to drain 2 spar Falmar summon. Falmar hates any kind of light. So Spar is light, so he hates it. But HP is going to be 110, weakened 100, and attack 170. Number 95 is Falmar. Next up is Squiblet. So Squiblet is like a swarm creature. He has a lot of you can call upon other Squiblets. 3 spar cost, 1 weakness seal, and 2 spar death cost. And it says once per turn, you may collect another Squiblet from your deck and shuffle it on your next turn. So Squiblet's a collector card for its own species. So pretty cool ramp up if you want to build a Squiblet deck. Though you can only have 3 Squiblets in a deck because 3 of each card. But you can use cards that copy, like Jack somewhere back there. If I can, probably won't find it. But yeah. And Squiblet can call upon other Squiblets from afar. HP 190, weakened 170, and attack 130. Number 96. And next up is gonna be Tythal. Super cool sorcerer, kind of scientist lord. Yeah, it's a prime rare, cost 5, 2 seals, and 4 spar death cost. And his ability is when summoned, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck and add 1 to your hand. So kind of like an extra draw mechanic, super useful. Pretty powerful. And Tythal, a fierce alien with the power to see all, as seen with his holding 2 eyeballs. And HP is going to be 310, weakened 220, attack 390. Number 97. Next up, only have a few cards left, guys. Nimian. I said this was going to be a short stream. I guess not. Normal time length, but Nimian. Another prime rare there. He's like a monkey kind of alien creature. He's green. 6 spar cost, 2 seals, and 4 spar death cost. And it says if, oops, it's not focusing up. If your opponent has 2 or more warriors in play, Nimian may attack twice. So pretty useful. Again, if you have like an aggro deck or something, good card to include, especially with if you mutate it with a symbiote, it can attack again. It can make some pretty powerful plays. And its flavor text, Nimian can heal or even grow back all limbs. I don't remember writing that. That's actually super cool. So HP is gonna be 380. What am I saying? Yeah, 380. Weakened 270 and attack 340. That's gonna be number 98. Nimian. Next up, Wujong. Akri, the Darklands Protector or Controller. Another female alien character. 4 spar cost, 2 seals, and 3 spar death cost. Prime rare. Akri gains 80 attack for each warrior your opponent has in play. So pretty useful if your opponent is playing an aggro deck with a lot of warriors. Play Akri, and Akri can gain a lot of HP, or not HP, attack. So it can mimic that attack back at their warriors. And again, if you mutate it with like Grieg or something, which gives it extra attacks, you can use your high attack from this to slay a bunch of your opponent's warriors. Super cool combos. Akri controls the Darklands with its staff. Cool bit of lore there. And then HP is going to be 310, 220, weakened, and attack 320. Number 99, Akri. Okay, next is gonna be Lectrigo. The last golden rares here. Lectrigo, golden rare. I had fun drawing this kind of weird energy alien monster. Um, he's an 8 cost, 3 seals, and 6 bar death cost. And his ability, if Lectrigo is slayed, you may flip your top card over. If it's an entity, play for free. If not, put it on the bottom of your deck. So Lectrigo would be really useful for entity focused decks. Especially because it lets you play for free. So HP is going to be 630. Weakened 320. And attack 640. Number 100, Lectrigo. Alright, next up is the last golden rare. Alexius, the Rock Lord. 9 cost, 9 spar cost, 3 seals, and 6 spar death cost. Golden rare. In his ability, when Alexius slays an entity or shatters a life card, revive all cost 4 or less lords in your graveyard for free. So, extremely useful if you're running a lord deck. And he has not too bad attack, so you can get through defenses and stuff and shatter life cards to activate its ability. Yeah, but 6 or HP is gonna be 620, weakened 310, and attack 680. Number 101, Alexius. Okay, now we're moving on to the final 3 cards, and then we're gonna end it. But the final 3 are gonna be the 3 ultimate ancient rares in set 1 Fierce Mutations. They're the rarest you can get, and they are gonna be, if I can pick them up. There. Number 1, Emorth, Ignar, and Clovis. Those are going to be the 3 ancient rares of set 1. The only reason these borders are white is because I was actually playing around with the kind of hollow effect. See how it would look. I printed these off the Game Crafter just as prototypes, but you know, cool hollow effect there. I don't think it fits too much, especially with the darkness of the other cards. So I'm gonna go with a green kind of gradient dark border. I think would look way better. I'll give you a preview if I can figure out how to switch my camera. I think. Is this working? I think it's working, but disconnected to my laptop. Giving you a preview of the ancient rare designs, the final ancient rares. There we go. That's going to be the borders. Going to be a nice green gradient. I think fits with the green ancient rare color scheme. And there's Ignar and Clovis. Super cool. I'm gonna go back to the scene. So yeah. So anyway, back to showcasing the cards here. To finish off, Emorth, super powerful, 12 max cost, 4 entity weakness seals, and 6 spar death cost. And he has a pretty powerful ability here. So When summoned, all your beasts gain 100 attack and HP. If your life card gets shattered, you may replace it with Emorth. So in the lore, Emorth is actually the protector of the Spar core, so you can place Emorth to protect one of your life cards there. And if Emorth shatters a life card that is Clovis, you lose the game. So this is kind of goes with the weakness kind of lore here, because Clovis is a warrior, and goes with the it's in the lore, but it's a cool kind of concept. If Emorth shatters life card that is Clovis, you lose the game. Kind of nice drawback to having a super maxed out powerful card. So yeah, HP is going to be 900, the max. Weakened is going to be 720, and then attack is 700. This is going to be number 102 for Emorth. And we're going to move on to Ignar. So Ignar is probably like the main character in Ignaris. Obviously, because Ignar, you know, it's in the lore, but another powerful card, maxed out 12 spar cost for weakness beast steals, and then 6 spar death cost. And his ability, weaken all opponent entities for the rest of the game. When you slay an entity, I can take control of it, and if Ignar shatters the life card that is Emorth, I lose the game. So it's kind of like the trio of, you know, entity weaknesses and stuff like that. HP is going to be 800, weakened 640, and attack is 800. And that's going to be number 103, Ignar. I know I said there was going to be 103 cards, but that was without counting the Spar, which is not like an entity or anything like that, you know, just the resource. But next up is going to be Clovis, the final card, the final warrior, the warrior that went berserk. Is going to be obviously a 12 maxed out cost for Lord Seals, and a 6 spar death cost. And Clovis's ability, Clovis can slay one exerted entity per turn. So exerted entities are actually invulnerable, but not for Clovis, because you can slay one per turn. So pretty powerful. Warriors you play do not exert when you attack if Clovis is in play. And if Clovis shatters the life card that is Ignar, you lose the game. So again, with the cool trio of weaknesses there, and HP 700, weakened 560, and attack is the max 900 attack. And that's gonna be number 104 for the final card of Ignaris Fierce Mutations. There he is. And that completes the full card showcase. All 103 or 104 if you count the Spar card. Unique cards in set 1, which I'm going to be releasing on Kickstarter. I got my Kickstarter page approved, so stay tuned for the pre-launch page. And yeah, thank you guys for joining, watching, and supporting. I may have streamed a bit early, but that's okay. I think I'm going to chop this stream up and upload it as a regular video, just to shorten it. But that's going to be it. Those are all the cards in set 1. I think I'll do a next video like this, showcasing the 20 cards of Echo Spawn, which is like the expansion. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for joining. Subscribe. And yeah. Hopefully you like the cards. Comments, your favorites, favorite artworks, anything. Thanks for supporting, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.